Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Today's topic is Mr. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. You know, when you speak in front of an audience, you always tailor your speech according to the audience, to the level you perceive the audience has, the intellectual level, the culture, the understanding. And then you shape it in the way that you think sends the best message, so everybody else gets an understanding of your message, not necessarily the truth. Well, no, you want to convince them of certain things, so then therefore you tailor your message. Then you also can see a person, a person's level of intelligence, and the way the person analyzes issues, that person's capacity of having the information, the knowledge, and the way, the method of reasoning, and then coming out with a conclusion regarding certain events or topics and so on. In this case is Mr. Zelensky, who he makes a lot of statements in front of a camera, and he addresses many politicians, public, um, people of high importance, let's put it this way. And he makes some statements that will remain, as he says here in this article, in history. They will be there, and then probably there will be some people in the future who are gonna listen to this and gonna say, "Oh, these guys," or "Oh, these guys." That's according or depending on that person's understanding, level on understanding and knowledge of the issue this guy is talking about. So we have an article from Republic World from today, May 10th, 2022. And Zelensky says, history to hold Russia responsible. And it says here that on May 10th in Kiev, Ukrainian president said Monday that Europe, as it did in World War II, once again has to think about the price to be paid for peace on the continent. Well, we should point out that this peace in the continent is not really on the continent, because if you really speak with people from Europe, they don't really consider Russia in Europe. They say, yeah, they are, but they're not. The same with Ukraine. Yeah, somewhere in the Eastern Europe, Asia, somewhere. But nevertheless, they are considered, geographically in Europe. But that was between two countries, not like the whole Europe, as he's claiming here. And then he says, Zelensky added that Europe has to think about the price to be paid by Russia for bringing the evil of, this is the word, total war to Europe again. Now, do you think it's total war in Europe? Do you compare total war when it came with, the Germans in the Second World War? Total war? Is this total war? Well, that tells you that this guy is either not very bright, or he's just tailoring his speech for the audience, thinking that the audience is really not very bright. So which one is it? Could be both. The thing is, I think he's not that, he's not, you know what I mean? I think he knows what he's talking about. The other point I would like to make, it's in the history, it's in the title where it says history to hold Russia responsible. Okay. There are so many other examples, in history where, crimes were committed by certain individuals, and by, and look, those countries are the ones that actually support you right now. And that means what? They got, and whenever you want, you can also blame them again, and they have to go back and bring you more aid. So let's go and read more, because he has to say more. It says here that he promises that the Ukrainian flag will once again fly over all of its cities. So it's going to win and all that. And then the Ukrainian flag will return because this is our country, a free European country. Okay, and then we find about the land lease that was proposed in United States by President Biden. I think he signed something. It just had to be ratified by some authorities over there for $40 billion land lease. Okay, Let's get good with that. Now let's discuss about history. History is always written by the victors. And when you have, for instance, think about um, Second World War. So you have the Second World War, and you have obviously the victors and the losers, right? So the victors in this case, let's say there's, I'm going to ignore, Great Britain or France or other. It's just going to say United States and Soviet Union. Not my purpose is not to insult anybody, but for the purpose of the conversation. So you got Soviet Union, you got United States, and then on the other side you have Germany. Now, do you think that the history books in the German USSR and Soviet Union were telling the same story as the American books? And they were both victors. Now, obviously, Germany lost the war, so their history had to fill a certain bracket somewhere. So you couldn't say, well, we were this and yeah. No, they can't say that, even if some people might believe that or think that. So they had to write the history that was by the victor. Now, look at Germany. That's the first aspect, that even the victors are writing certain aspects differently. Like, for instance, the Russians think that they won the war. The Americans think, no, we won the war. The Canadians think that without us, the Germans would have been mowed down, Europe and everybody else. They all think that way. Why? Because they have to emphasize their, support of the cause, and they were on the side of the winner party. And here you have it. So even in the victors, that's variations of the truth, and the history is written differently. And I know that because of Romania as well, and the Romanian history was different than the US history about the same events. Not very different, but from a different angle, different takes, so it fits. So we're not that guilty. Oh yeah, we were the big guys. The same over here, where the United States was never guilty. So let's talk about that. Never. Romania was guilty. So it has to, yeah, we did this because of that or something. So they have to express their guilt. Or no, but the other side, if you look at the Soviet Union history, was no guilt in the Second World War. They did everything perfect and nothing else. No. They didn't take out the, no rapes, no nothing, no, everything was correct and fair. The same with the Americans. Now, as a normal human being, you realize that certain things are exaggerations, certain things are left out, certain things are outright lies. Now, what history is Zelensky talking about? The Russian history? So after this, obviously, the Russians, if they're not wiped or wiped off the map, or Putin leaves and they become the vassal state like everybody else to the same guy, then their history will not coincide with Zelensky's history or with United States history. So then which one is it? And why do you think you have the history and the other one doesn't have the right history? Because I'm pretty sure they're both going to be tweaked in their own ways. So you see, he talks about generalities like this, and which is fine. That's good. But he should also remember that countries that committed, as I said, certain things that were not right now are on the, right path. Like, for instance, Germany. So let's say tomorrow Russia loses this war, the government is decapitated, taken to wherever they're going to be taking them, and then a new guy, a new Yeltsin comes, and Yeltsin does what he does best, and he can't face the pressure, and he's going to open everything like it was open after 1991, 1993 to 1999 until Putin came. And then Russia will be again at the whim of these guys, and everybody will like Russians then. So then Russia will come back into the international community, correct? Yes. So then how's going to be the history towards them? It's going to look at them the same way they look at Germany right now. Oh, welcome, come back. You're under our spell. So history is as it is, and you know this. So Mr. Zelensky, good luck with that. Thank you very much. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.